Now, back to this Trump situation. I played for you the ad that the Kasich Super PAC put together. This is the first of what will be many ads designed to take Trump out. In fact, I'm going to play that for you again because there's another ad, the Jeb Bush campaign ad, that is somewhat similar to the Kasich ad in its structure and conception. Now, the Kasich Super PAC, they're fed up. They think people have been playing patty cake with Trump. It's time to take off the gloves. It's time to get serious. We've got to take this guy out. And we got to take this guy out by informing his voters exactly who he is. His voters are blind. His supporters are essentially mind-numb robots. They have been paralyzed to support. They don't know who it is they're supporting. He's a madman. And the Kasich Super PAC intends to run a series of ads demonstrating this, trying to peel off Trump supporters. So here's that ad. It's 47 seconds, and immediately after it is a Jeb Bush ad from back in October, that is much the same approach. We'll play them back to back. Here's number one.
He's not a war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird.
I have a great relationship with the blacks. I've always had a great relationship with the blacks.
The blacks.
Well, I just don't respect her as a journalist. You know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
Somebody's doing the raping, Don. I mean, you know, somebody's doing the, just saying it's women being raped. Well, who's doing the raping?
The belt moves this way. It moves this way.
How stupid are the people of Iowa?
And that last comment, when Trump fell out of the number one slot in a poll, he, with a smile on his face, hey, what are you people in Iowa doing to me? How stupid are you? Carson, are you kidding me? His normal, usual stand-up. So that's the first in what will be many ads from the Kasich Super PAC designed to embarrass and humiliate Trump supporters into renouncing their support. The Jeb Bush campaign, this next ad, this is an internet ad, runs a minute and a half, and it is produced along the same lines with the same intent.
Who do you talk to for military advice right now?
Well, I watch the shows. I mean, I really see a lot of great, you know, when you watch your show and all of the other shows.
He has said publicly that he watches cable news, and that's one of the ways that he bones up on our national security.
Trump says he, quote, always felt that I was in the military, despite never serving in the military, and draft deferments during Vietnam.
There's nobody bigger or better at the military than I am.
Donald Trump said Senator John McCain is not a war hero.
He's not a war hero. I like people that weren't captured, okay?
Who do you think among the presidential candidates would be the best qualified to make a deal with Iran?
I think Hillary would have. Hillary's always surrounded herself with very good people. I think Hillary would do a good job.
So the deal lives in a Trump administration.
Well, it's very tough to do when you say rip up a deal, because I'm a deal person.
When he goes on this radio program and doesn't know who some of the major players are.
I'm used to, dealing with killers, people that go,
Donald Trump doesn't like to be questioned on the issue.
Trump is weak on policy.
When you are running for the presidency of the United States of America, the most important title is Commander-in-Chief. They should have a working knowledge.
There's no excuse for him not to be prepared for these questions. Donald Trump was not able to do that, so that should be concerning to voters.
Donald Trump is causing a race toward the bottom.
It's delusional. Mr. Trump did not have a firm grasp of what was really going on.
I will be so good at the military, your head will spin.
Let me tell you, I'm a really smart guy.
Okay, so the Jeb Bush ad is designed to inform Trump supporters that he's a dunce on the military and a pretender, and he doesn't know anything other than what he sees on cable TV. Watches the news to find out what's happening in the world, and he's just a great deal maker, and he'd go out there and he would really cream people. He just felt like he was in the military, but he never has been. But he just loves the military loves him, and he's a really smart guy. So those two ads, the first one by the Kasich Super PAC and the last one by the Bush campaign from October, are in the same mold, if you will, designed to try to wake up these Trump supporters and tell them that they're supporting a phony, that they're supporting a guy that doesn't believe what he says, and you shouldn't believe what he says because he doesn't believe it, and if he does believe it, then he's insane. What I take out of this, I shouldn't say this. I'm sorry. These two ads, List these two ads. The first one, the Kasich Super PAC. Now, by law, Kasich's not allowed to have any contact with the Super PAC. So don't anybody think that Kasich had anything to do with the ad. It's the Kasich Super PAC. I mean, candidates will tell you, God, I don't control what my Super PAC does. I'm not even allowed to talk to them. That's why they can raise all this money. I can't coordinate, never do coordinate. It'd be against the law. I'd be called out. But the people running it very loudly and proudly proclaim it to be the Kasich Super PAC. The Bush campaign, what I take away from this is how identical, similar, let's say, how similar the thinking between Kasich and Bush and the media is. If you didn't know that the Kasich Super PAC had put that ad together, if you didn't know it was a Jeb Bush ad, you would think somebody in the media did it to set up a Trump interview. Isn't that interesting?